Coming up on Mark Hamill's Pop Culture Quest.
1980s was the greatest generation for pop culture. I have good feelings with those toys.
If you pull it, it could break. Ready?
Well, don't break it. Welcome to Pop Culture Quest, my chance to keep collecting through you.
That is awesome.
I want to hear the origin stories behind the birth of your passion.
We want to learn everybody's stories, okay?
Exactly, we want to learn everybody's story. So join me and my buddy Pop on Mark Hamill's Pop Culture Quest.
Whoa.
Let's go. Snap out of it, pal.
But Mark, have you seen this? There is a Shogun Godzilla in the
Oh,
room.
he's awesome. King of the monsters, and I found him in a garage sale.
Unbelievable. And he's still got his rocket firing arm.
You watch. Here we go. Ready?
Oh!
I know. Isn't that awesome?
Who doesn't love Godzilla? I mean, he is the king of the monsters. You know, he wrestles all the monsters and befriends children everywhere.
Yeah, Boy Scouts and so forth. But people forget, the original Godzilla film in the 50s was a much grimmer sort of parable and anti-nuclear power movie.
Godzilla, king of the monsters, alive, surging up from the depths of the sea on a tidal wave of terror.
I mean, obviously, what they experienced in their history was a much scarier film. Then they filmed the Raymond Burr sequences and cut them into the American version to make it more palatable for American audiences. I worked with Raymond Burr and told him how much I loved him in Godzilla.
Oh, yeah? What did he say?
Thank you. He was, very Raymond Burr about it. But,
Do you know what his character name was in that movie?
What? Oh, Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I knew that, but I forgot it.
As a teenager, my dad was stationed in Japan, and I actually graduated from Yokohama High School. That's where I got a first-hand look at one of my favorite characters, Godzilla. On this quest, we'll meet a collector who shares his love of Japanese pop culture with thousands.
My name is Scott Zillner, and I collect robots, Godzillas, video games, toys, action figures, board games, rocks, pieces of twine, you name it, I collect it.
And I want to find out how Japanese monsters and robots became his life.
As of today, my collection has grown from having a box of toys to having a house of toys. I have a lot of different stuff on display. The glass display cases are kind of my Hall of Fame stuff. And this right here is the Inhumanoids. And it was a TV show in the 80s, creatures from the deep coming up and a crack team of scientists to fight them. Collecting, you buy what you want, like what hits you here in the heart, what makes you feel good, and it's nostalgia. So I go out to buy toys from that time period that I remember as a kid because it makes me feel warm inside. I have good feelings with those toys. I have to totally believe 1980s was the decade of all decades. It truly was the greatest generation for toys and pop culture.
Well, what is your thing? Is it Godzilla, Kaiju? Is it Shogun robots, or all of the above?
It's all of the above, but I mean, I'd have to say, Christmas 1980, I got a Shogun Warrior. Okay. And my brother got a Godzilla here.
Okay, this one.
Exactly, that one with the flicking tongue action.
That flicking tongue action, yeah. Okay.
And that I can pretty much say that's where it started. I never left toys behind.
Well, that's great, because a lot of people can't remember a specific moment where, this is...
that was the moment.
Yeah, but see, for me, collecting was... I like toys, but I think the first time I ever realized, oh, I want the whole set was, I love Dennis the Menace, the comic strip and the comic book. He was sort of my generation's Bart Simpson. Loved the character, and I love puppets. So for Christmas, not only did I get Dennis, I got his parents, you know, Henry, and I think Gloria was her name. And the connection of, oh, see, I have the set.
And I think that was important with toy design back in the day, to have everything on the back or have a catalog where you could like plan your year, like, okay, Christmas and birthday, and maybe if I'm good and do enough chores, I can raise enough money to get this. And that was totally a plan as a kid. Like, my only objective was how many of these toys could I get? Christmas 1980. This guy was under my tree, and I've never looked back. I collect all these robots, all these monsters, everything, because of my love for this guy in 1980. This is Deadly Bloom. This is an actual suit from Power Rangers. He was a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger villain, and one of a couple of the monster suits that are in my collection. Here's my buddy Shockatron. He was also on Power Rangers, and now he's kind of my front door guard. The giant monsters and people in giant monster suits just seems second nature. Like, yeah, that's just how the world works. In Japan, there's always giant monsters fighting. That's what I thought as a kid. And it really got me into like Godzilla and the kaiju. I got theater exclusive Godzillas, lots of rare, strange mecha Godzillas. I've got all 3 main Godzillas signed by the original suit actors.
It's alive, a gigantic beast, stalking the earth, crushing all before it in a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror.
I brought in some key pieces of Godzilla to show off to you.
Well, I love how they've redesigned him over the years.
Yeah, and so here we have
the much more reptilian version.
This is the like original Godzilla, and it's signed by the suit actor Nakajima-san. So here he is in his Godzilla
Where did you meet him?
suit. He come out to quite a few shows here in,
so he came
in
here,
LA.
he didn't go there.
I didn't go there. I do go to Japan, but I got all these signed here in the States. Anything that's really big, I try to put over here in this section, including my Hall of Fame super monster group here. This is the Poppy Godzilla, Rodan from the Shogun Warriors, Kraken from Clash of the Titans, and then Shogun Warriors Godzilla.
And how are these two different?
Well, this is what's called the Popey Godzilla. So it's a jumbo Machinder or a jumbo toy. And it's what kind of, they said, okay, we want this for America, and they made the American Godzilla toy.
And the pull string ring he did,
He makes a sound.
does he still work?
But if you pull it, it could break.
Okay, let's not then.
We can try.
No. I don't want to be
thrilling and
responsible.
exciting.
I know, but
We don't know if it's going to work or I'm going to break it. Ready?
Well, don't break it. Wow.
Didn't break.
That's perfect. And now we have it on film in case it ever does.
I don't
break.
have to do it again. We know it works.
Oh gosh,
Ready?
I hope it doesn't. I don't want to be responsible for. Perfect.
Didn't break.
One of the greatest things about Scott is his passion doesn't stop at the collecting.
The panels are set, they're online. Okay. They have to go to that online link.
He also holds a few fan conventions right here in Southern California.
I did a show that was a Make-A-Wish Foundation wish in LA called Power Morphicon for Power Rangers. At the end of the show, I go up to the promoter, I'm like, I did great this weekend, this is awesome. I said, I can't wait to do it again next year. And she's like, oh God, no. I'm not gonna do this again, ever. I said, well, if you're not interested, I would love to keep this show going. I took over Power Morphicon 2006. We went from a small room of the first show was 250 people, to today we're well over 6,000 people. Welcome to Power Morphicon. So this is the 5th Power Morphicon 2016. We do the show every other year. And the reason for that is to give people time to save up and come from all over the world. Put out a couple more fires before we let in all the regular people at 4 o'clock. So that's the next big deal is 4 o'clock. This is just the early bird people, and now we let in the regular attendees. So that's gonna be crazy. All right, so who's ready to get into Morphicon? Woo! Welcome to Morphicon. Get in there. All right. Yeah. I gotta wash my hands now. This is. In the end, all these people are happy. They're really happy. They come up and say, Scott, you really made my day having this show. Thank you so much. I wait 2 years for this event. That's what we do it for. That we do it for them. We do it for the fans.
Well, we saw tons of kaiju giant monsters, Shogun robots, and this little guy's face off with Godzilla. Jeff, fun?
Yeah, now he and I talk the same language.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you next time on Pop Culture Quest. You need subtitles, buddy.
All those movies do.
Hi, toy we collect. Hi. Peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo. Godzilla. Who's a kaiju? Who's a little kaiju?
And I even got my G.I. Joe Snake Eyes tattoo eventually. I know my mom got really mad, and I'm like, I'm a 40-year-old man that lives in the toy business. This is nothing but street cred.
Next week on Mark Hamill's Pop Culture Quest.
In a lot of these shows, no matter how good the effects were, you could tell that you were watching a model.
Battlestars and Star Destroyers and droids, oh my!
Oh, my.
Would you be interested in seeing Nostromo?
The actual Nostromo? Yeah, I'd be interested in that.